Hello and welcome to Truly Living with Lisa Rose, the private Facebook group. I'm so glad that you joined this private group because it's here that I get to talk in detail about lots of stuff and we get to have conversations. And I'm here a minute or two early tonight. This particular session called The Energy of Planning is scheduled for 7 o'clock. And I just want to give everybody maybe a minute or two to show up. And while I'm doing that, I am firing up some Palo Santo wood, one of my absolute favorites for smudging, to be able to clear out any kind of negative vibes that might be hanging on you, might be hanging on me, might be hanging out here on cyberspace or Facebook. And this works. Energy is energy. And that's what we're going to be talking about a whole lot. So welcome. Just going to wait for another minute while you enjoy the smoke. This smells so good. If you just take a breath in, you can probably smell it too. You ready? Palo Santo wood. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to get started here. If you're joining me or when you're joining me, feel free to pop your, if you want to pop your location in the comments so I know where you're coming from, that'd be fun. And also I'd be curious to know whether or not this is a good time, whether or not 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm in California, I'm coming to you from my studio in California. Whether or not this is a good time, or if 8 o'clock's better or 6 o'clock's better, whatever that might be, that would be good information for me to have. Today's Wednesday, hump day. Here we go. I love to work in my studio without any kind of clock. So I have an old-fashioned timer. It's like an old-fashioned sand egg timer. This one's huge, as you can see. Lasts about 35 minutes. So I like to just get that going too. So welcome. Welcome to the energy of planning. And the things that I would like to share with you this evening are the concept of planning as a form of energy, the energy of planning and how it benefits you, the results of planning, right, as a form of energy work, and then I'm also going to share with you some of my favorite planning tools that I've been using for 2017, because I'm just finishing up my own planning process, which I like to do in January, both personally and for business. So let's get started. Planning as a form of energy. Let's start with Universal Energy 101. Everything has energy. Absolutely everything. Everything is made up of energy. Everything is connected to that energy, right? So everything's made up of energy. Everything is connected to that energy, including thinking. And that's going to be the centerpiece of this talk and chat tonight is going to be thinking. What you think is more important than what you say or what you do, right, on an energetic level, right? So what you're thinking is more important than what you're saying or what you're doing in the realm of energy and energy work. Your thoughts will materialize more quickly than your actions or your goals. That's a hard one to sort of wrap your head around, right? So your thoughts will materialize more quickly than your actions toward your goals, right? Because the thinking is the seed. Without the seed, there's no plant. Without the seed, there's no tree, right? So it starts with the seed, and the seed is thinking, and what happens in the energetic realm with thinking. So if you think you won't get a new client this week, the universe will help you not get a new client this week. If you think your project won't launch this quarter, the universe will deliver blocks to you so that your project doesn't launch this quarter. So it all starts with the thinking, all of it. Right? So let's move this into planning, not scheduling. That's different, right? So planning. I used to absolutely hate planning. Didn't want to do it. I scheduled, right? Probably because my life was so scheduled for so long. And now I love planning because once I figured out the energy of planning and what's happening in the planning process on the energetic level, it's great. And that's why I'm talking about this today, because I wanted to share it with you. So the act of planning, it's often a dump, or a download of everything we're holding in our mind into some sort of organizational form, right? So we can figure it out. And it includes an awful lot of shouldas and suppostas. That's what I call shouldas and suppostas. I should have did this. I'm supposed to do that. I should do this. I'm supposed to do that, and on and on. Now, shoulda and supposta are negative vibes, right? They're negative. It's negative energy. And negative doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil. In fact, it doesn't mean that it's evil, right? We think of it that way, sometimes good and bad, and good somehow angelic and bad is evil. But negative energy is not evil. What it is it's energy that's not in service to you. And that's why it's negative. It removes you from alignment with, what you're supposed to be doing or who you really are. So positive energy, obviously, is the opposite of that. It's the type of energy that is in service to you and it serves you. And they feel different. Negative energy's got a heavier vibe to it than positive energy. And when you start paying attention to how energy feels in your body, a negative vibe that's coming at you, even when it's got a smile on its face, or even when it's got a nice high number on it for an income stream, or fill in the blank. But you could possibly be deceived. But your energy, will be able to feel the difference in that. You'll be able to go for the one that doesn't look like it's going to be a winner, ends up being a winner. Okay, so kind of just a little description there of energy and how it functions for you. Now, going back to planning, I'm not talking about traditional goal planning. Just throw that out. I stopped traditional goal planning a couple of years ago when I got turned on to the Desire Map. So first, traditional goal planning, it creates a list of items that if you accomplish them, then you get to feel something that you had hoped you would feel, for a few seconds or more, or however long that lasts after you accomplish it, if and when you accomplish it. You might accomplish exactly what it is you're going after. You feel it for a second, you whack it off your list and you go on, right? So as I said before, I'm a big fan of the Desire Map, where Daniel Laporte's concept of planning begins with excavating how you want to feel and how you want to desire, what you desire, what you desire, how you want to feel. You get really clear on that, and you instantly get a whole lot of that because you reorganize your planning around what brings you more of how it is you want to feel, not waiting to see if you get it. Right, so that's kind of my starting point right there as I begin this sort of excavation process about how do I want to feel, even before I get into the nuts and bolts of planning. So beyond that, what is happening energetically during the planning process is amazing. It's amazing. And that's what I really want to talk about with you tonight, the energy of planning. So it's in the process of planning, when you got all your stuff out and you quiet your thinking and you've given yourself time to plan, to think, not schedule, that's different, but to plan. It's when you're in the planning, you're sitting down and you're thinking, you are wide open in wonder. Wide open in wonder. Everything is possible. You're thinking about all the things, right? So what happens then is that you connect and you engage with the universe at large, and the universe is listening for instructions based on your desires. That happens in the planning process, not once the plan is done and you organize it into goals and then you schedule it and divvy it up, right? That's all great. Right? So that's exactly what you have to be doing in order to make things start to happen, to put, intention into motion. But I'm backing all that up to the planning, the energy of planning, and what's actually going on energetically in the planning process. So how does this work? Well, by projecting energy with your thoughts in the planning process, projecting energy with your thoughts in the planning process out into the universe at large, that place that everything is energy and everything's connected to. You make a move, something happens in the universe. Someone else makes a move, something else happens in the universe. And I'm talking about the universe as a field, a field of energy. Everybody's tapped in. Everybody's plugged in. Everything is plugged in. So let me give you a simple example here. I can't put a pile of love on the desk for you, right? It's intangible. But I can project love outward to you so that you can receive it and you can feel it, right? That I can do. I can project it. Most people, in a tangible world, we're demonstrating love in certain ways, either by our behavior, by gift giving, by acts of kindness. Of course, they're all wonderful, but that's not it, right? That's not the love itself. The love isn't seen; it's felt. And so love, it's energy that comes out from the heart and it's projected outward, and people can feel it, right? So that's what they mean when they say, "I'm feeling the love." Now, not only can people feel the love, the universe can feel the love. The energy field that is the universe collectively feels the love, right? Catches that vibe from you, right? Even when you're just thinking about it. You don't even have to be acting on it. So what you feel about what you're thinking during the planning process is received by the universe as energetic instructions. I think that's tweetable. But let me just say it again for you. What you feel about what you're thinking during the planning process is received by the universe as energetic instructions. So the universe will deliver exactly what it is that you're thinking and feeling to you. The only exception to that is if what you are thinking is not in your highest and best interests, right? Then it won't happen. But usually you know that, right? That's that pie in the sky sort of stuff, right? Okay, if I win the lotto, then I'm going to do what it is that I really want to do, right? Probably not going to win the lotto because you're not really being true already. So that's not really going to probably happen for you. All right. So the universe accepts orders just like a restaurant accepts an order for a burger. You order, I want the burger, I want it well done, I want ketchup and onions on it, no bun, give me the lettuce wrap, and you get it, right? They don't necessarily create something else. The job is to give you and deliver and mirror back to you what it is that you want, with that one exception. Do you love to argue? The universe will help you find arguments. Do you love to help clients? Do you love to help your clients? The universe will help you find ways to help your clients. Do you worry about money? The universe will help you find more ways to worry about money. You see, so it all starts with the thinking. But something else also happens. Something else also happens during the planning. And that great connectedness to the universe becomes like a brainstorming session, right? That just isn't in your head, right? The brainstorming session is actually with and in all at the same time in the field, in the energetic field that is the universe. It becomes part of the energetic collective, and you may start downloading ideas and inspiration and solutions to problems and things that you didn't think about during the planning process because you're plugged in. That's the beauty of it, right? So what also happens is it starts the process of possibility, magic, and manifesting. So this is why it's important to take time for yourself to plan, where it's all about you. It's all about you in your personal life, or it's all about you in your business. Even if you're working for a company, you're still participating in the planning process from your level of responsibility. You can still apply this idea, this concept, to that same kind of planning, right? You might have actually get a great idea for a new product or another way to reel in that nice client that you've been looking for. So in the planning process, right, you think, you feel, you wonder, you organize your thoughts, you create steps toward your desires, and that energy is projected out as an order to the universe. And the most important step in planning, and which is also the most important step in manifesting, is to leave wide open spaces for possibility in your planning and in your schedule. Leave wide open spaces for possibility. Yes, do not overplan and do not overschedule. And I understand the temptation because, I used to have a schedule that was packed. Every minute was taken up with all sorts of things, and I would have to turn down the opportunities that I was hoping to manifest in my planning process when the universe just dropped them into my lap, which seemed so sudden, and I would find myself turning them down, right? So often the universe has something better in mind for you based on the thinking and the feelings that you had projected out to it, and it drops it right into your lap. The universe does not schedule an appointment to have the conversation or to deliver the opportunity. It just materializes. And sometimes it materializes as one whole big opportunity and download, and sometimes it materializes in baby steps, right? And it says baby steps, the little tiny doors that are opening, that are leading you to the next place that we tend to often, miss. So you have to pay attention to those along the way. So you need to be able to say yes to opportunities delivered out of seemingly nowhere as the universe just sort of drops them in your lap. And the way to do that is to make sure that you have left time and space in your schedule and time and space in your planning too. The absolute worst thing I think that can happen and that you can experience and say is, that's what I've been waiting for. I wish it came at a better time so that I could jump on it. I'm going to have to pass. And you wanted it, right? Or, wow, that was quick. Let me see if I can get that in my schedule. That's not a yes, right? Either one of those are yeses. And what happens next when you don't say yes? Really, it's a total bummer, because the universe ends up delivering that to the next person who has that on their list and left space for possibility and magic. That doesn't mean that everybody can't get their plans that they had asked for, but what will happen is your connection for manifesting weakens, and then you actually have more difficult time manifesting it is what you want when you keep turning it down on an energetic level, right? This is all happening as a form of energy. So the results of planning as a form of energy work that you quickly sort out negative energy from positive energy with an awareness, right, of what you think and what you feel while you're planning. The shoulds and supposeds weaken in the face of desire. You project what you're thinking and you're feeling out to the universe to jumpstart manifesting. You create opportunities for possibility and what I call magic, right? That suddenly, it seems like you're getting what you want, but actually you manifested it, right? It wasn't good luck and it wasn't something that you weren't a participant in, right? And oftentimes it's better than the thing that you were thinking about while you were planning. So that's the energy of planning. It's what I love about it. It's why I love planning. And I wanted to share with you some of the tools that I've been using this year to do my planning. The first one that I've been using is Leonie Dawson's my Shining Year guide. She has one for business and one for life. This is the one for life, right? I did this one first this year. Usually I'm, really, I love my business. I love business. So I tend to do a lot of business. And one of the things I'm doing this year is I'm giving myself time for a personal life. And what I was talking about earlier, about those moments of planning and wonder, she addresses in her book. And her book is great. I mean, it's very colorful and there's lots of prompts and it's playful and joyful. And it's such a relief from the black and white paper, and digital PDFs that we're constantly surrounded with when we're working, particularly in a business environment or even just in life. So I really love this. But I'm going to pop my glasses on here so I can see this a little bit better. So these were mine, right, this year. And there's 100 of these. And I'm telling you, I had to struggle. Sometimes I was struggling. And I made myself do 100 things that I would love to do in 2017. And it was just, some of it was just wishful thinking, dreaming, thinking about and fantasizing about. And I put it all down. But it's amazing because when I was doing the planning, and I'm obviously a practitioner of this, I was surprised myself at how fast things started manifesting for me. So what do I have on here? Learn to sing, learn to play the piano, learn Italian, read more books, sell my art inventory. I used to be an art dealer for decades. Create a dream office, get in shape, lose 10 pounds, learn past life regression, live in Europe, meet new people, consolidate some of my cooking videos, take walks, do yoga, listen to new music, visit Regina Nagel, my friend in Northern California, hike the green sand beach, go on a retreat. Already, this is just 20, this is just 20. Already, what has happened already as a result of this practice for me is I've already read 2 books since January, so that's already happening. I've already cleaned out and creating my dream office. I've already dropped 4 pounds. I've scheduled my training for past life regression therapy for October, so that's in process. I'm going to be spending huge amounts of time in Europe this summer, so basically I'll be living there. I've already met 3 or 4 new people this week, 2 last week. Let's see. And I have already planned my solo retreat, and I'm doing that twice this year, and I know where I'm going. So it's already happening and already working. And I think that this is a good place just to start for the exploration, because it prompts you to do things that you might not have considered yourself. The other one that I love, of course, is Danielle LaPorte's Desire Map Planner, right? This is really a book that checks in with your soul and is constantly asking you the question, what are your core desired feelings? How have you changed? What have you learned? What's liberating for you? What's expanding your consciousness? What's in your heart space? What did you work so hard for? List your gratitude. What are the things you'd like to change? How do you want to feel? 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 And it keeps that at the center point of my life and what it is that I'm doing. And that's why I love that part of it, checking in, what my how do I desire to feel? And then I make decisions and I bring more of what it is that I desire to feel instantly into my life. I say no to things that aren't bringing it in, and I say yes to things that are. The nuts and bolts, after I've done all the planning, and I want to be able to keep track and keep taking action and making it happen and manifesting, and correcting, doing course correction and tracking things. The Passion Planner, absolutely love this. I used this last year too, fell in love with it. I'm a vampire, so I love it that it goes from 6 a.m. till 10:30. I'm a vampire. I usually work noon till midnight, sometimes beyond. But this has not only a place for, to post everything, but also to do reviews. And it's a great way for me to combine that effort of, am I doing what I'm desiring to do? Am I feeling the way I want to feel? And am I actually taking the steps and the action in an organized way that allows me to get it out of my head, deposit it in a planner, and schedule it. The other one that I love, and I used this last year, I'm using it again this year, is Flora Sage's Year in Reverse. So this is one I have thinking very specifically about goals that I want to accomplish as a result of my planning. Actually picking out the things that feel the best, feel right for me, that I want to accomplish in my business. You can also do this in your life. And then I'll do the yearly goal, the quarterly goals, the monthly goals, and then breaking that down all the way down into the steps that I'm going to be taking that week, right? Like the weekly action steps. So for me, that is the nuts and bolts of planning, the energy of planning, the benefits of planning, plugging into the universe, being able to manifest quickly. And I hope that I was able to inspire you to think about planning in a new way, to engage in planning maybe from a different perspective than the way that you might have thought about it and avoided it before, and to help let the universe guide you and be your partner in delivering to you what it is that you are thinking about and how you're feeling about what you're thinking. So thanks so much for being here, and I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see who's here, and I'm seeing Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. So thanks, everybody. Love from California. Bye.